On the last exciting episode of AxoniusRex, we saw our Namekian character fight off against Clone Piccolo in the mountain range. Their fight starts with full intensity, and it continues until Clone Frieza drops in from a different battle. Powering up and entering the fight is now a 2-on-1 match against our Namekian. Vegeta fell off the lookout after being knocked off by Timebreaker Vegito, and despite our Namekian needing help the most, he completely ignores him and flies away. Clone Frieza puts a hurt on our Namekian until he turns into KAIOKEN and ramps up his strength even more. The combined evil forces of Clone Piccolo and Clone Frieza are a match our Namekian was not ready for, but he manages to hold his own just in time for Time Patrol, a Final Form Cooler to drop in and enter the match. Now a 2-on-2 match, our Namekian against Clone Piccolo. They start to turn the tide of battle in their favour, and they both set the enemies up for one final ultimate attack. Catching Clone Frieza off guard and knocking down Clone Piccolo, they're set up for one last ultimate blast, disintegrating them both at the exact same time. When the battle seemed over, Final Form Cooler wanted more action and went after the Namekian, catching him off guard, not quite ready to stop fighting. The Namekian pushed back, and the fight became serious. They both got ready to finish each other off with their final ultimate attack, but that was not in the interest of Whis, who beamed down and took them both out with a quick chop to the neck and a quick beam. The Namekian wakes up, dazed, in the middle of Conton City. The male Margin and female human rush in from their battle. Something is happening in Conton City. Deborah and Few are running amok. Our Namekian, spotting Deborah, powers up and flies straight to him. Deborah gets ready for a father-son showdown on top of the Dragon Ball altar. At the same time, 8 of the most powerful supervillains drop down in a big ring around Conton City. They begin charging their supervillain energy. Jiren, Fuzamasu, Broly, Omega Shenron, Kid Buu, Janemba, Golden Frieza, and Perfect Cell, unleashing all their pent-up supervillain energy, Ressurection the demon Hirudegarn. Conton City's biggest threat has just been resurrected, the supervillain Scatter, and now Hirudegarn is ready to destroy. Tien, Yamcha, and Piccolo fight off against Hirudegarn while the male Margin is fighting off against Perfect Cell. Supervillain Jiren goes to protect Deborah, but he's not needed, so flies back to the fight. The Namekian goes straight for Deborah, putting everything he has into a flurry of lightning punches, brutalizing and beating down Deborah, blasting her way with the inner fire within. Now it's Deborah's turn. Their fight is like a dance, each of them taking steps, fighting, evading, countering, attacking. Their clashing fists send out shockwaves throughout Conton City. The Namekian tries to blast him away but gets caught off guard as he flies around his beam. Knocked out of KAIOKEN and losing a significant portion of his strength, he's mercilessly beat down by Deborah. Deborah lands down, and it seems this fight has more to it than meets the eye. Allow me to tell you the real story of your past. Your real past. Not the one you've been led to believe, but the reason why you're here, your reason for existing, and who your real family really were. My dear fire demon, allow me to tell you about your real father, and your real mother. My dear fire demon, allow me to tell you. Many years ago, my sister, Toa, traveled to planet Namek in search of the Namekian Dragon Balls to resurrect the Demon Realm. Toa was different then. She even caught the eye of one of the local Namekians, and the two of them formed a bond that would strengthen throughout her time there. He was a simple fool who believed in the best of people, and she would turn his whole world upside down. She would amaze and impress him with her display of dark energy, her magical powers. Back in her youth, Toa was hypnotic, transfixing him at every stage. She grew disinterested with resurrecting the demon realm. Naive Toa believed she could have a life with a mere mortal Namekian. She would watch as he tried to impress her with feats of strength, and soon they would father a child. But that wasn't liked by the other Namekians. It wasn't long before the assassins came. Your father knew of the impending threat. Attempts on his life were numerous, to say the least. But this time was different, as he sensed a strong power on the other end of the planet. Despite his foolish belief in people, your father was quite strong. Assassins would come, and then assassins would go. The fool would leave them alive and just retreat from battle. What an embarrassment. But this time was different, for a strong energy was approaching his child. A chief from a neighboring village, a purist who believed that Namekian should not mix blood with other life forms, wanted to make an example out of you. Toa was not going to give up her only child so easily, but that was her undoing. She was no match for his monstrous strength, and she stood no chance. Beaten and bruised, she was dispatched without any problems. That was the first time that Toa was truly and utterly defeated. And on top of that, the first time she ever felt weak. He blew down your house and was going to destroy the hybrid demon Namekian that was a travesty to the bloodline of Namekians. Your father was hot on his trail, but no one expected what would happen next. As they rushed to your aid, you exploded with the flames of the demon realm itself. You caused a fiery explosion the likes of which the planet had never seen before. And let's just say the chief didn't recover from that day. The fires emanating from within you reduced him to atoms, destroying your village and your home. Your father was caught in the blast and was not strong enough to survive. Miles of Namek engulfed in flames and rubble, and all that remained was a small, frightened child, and Toa, beaten, bruised, and barely alive. She stood there, watching her home, her world, reduced to nothing. This was all because of her, and because of her weakness. Everything she loved died, except for you, my dear fire demon. What are you going to do? Look around. Your friends, your heroes, are all crumbling before the forces of the demon realm. Is this all you were meant for? You were meant for greater. You were meant to take over the demon realm as my successor. I raised you as my own, with Toa, to make you strong, so nothing like that ever happens again. All your heroes are being destroyed. They lack the strength to survive on their own. Strength is everything in this world. You must become strong, and to do that you must revive and lead the demon realm into greatness. Will you be like them?
It's time to do what you were created for. Use that energy to destroy these mortals and revive the demon realm.
Never. No, he will never become the fire demon that Deborah raised him to be, that Toa wanted him to be. He is his own person, his own Namekian, and he forges his own destiny. Despite knowing that as a child he killed his own father, and that later in life would kill his own mother. He will not give in to the darkness. No, he will fight against it. His purpose is not to lead the demon realm, but to stop Deborah from resurrecting it. This is his purpose for being, and he is the one who has chosen it. Not Deborah, not Toa, no one. He throws Dobora away and starts to meditate to get some of his strength back. Dobora tries a sneak attack, but the male human is ready and he absorbs the energy, powering himself up with pure progress and ready to help out our Namekian. Now a 2-on-1 fight ensues. The Namekian goes in for a punch but is caught off guard, but that's not enough because teamwork triumphs over Dobora's trickery. Charging with all of his might into Dobora, he unleashes one massive, ultimate, final flurry of punches and kicks, using everything he has to defeat Dobora once and for all. And the fight is now over. He will not be like his father. No, his adopted father. He will not kill him where he stands. He is not the fire demon he was raised to be. He checks in on the fight below to see if they need help defeating Hirudegarn. Hercule is luring Hirudegarn away from the center of the city while the other heroes are setting up their final comeback counterattack. All of our heroes and their mentors fly in at the same time, ready for the last ultimate push. Using a combined ultimate attack, Majin Buu and Female Margin force Hirudegarn onto his knees. He hangs back, watching all the heroes destroy Hirudegarn with their own combined teamwork. Yes, he will be one of them. And just like that, Zeno's guards and Zeno himself beam down into Konton City. With a single wave of his finger, he erases Hirudegarn and the downed Dobora at the top of the Dragonball altar, and he teleports into the middle of Konton City, setting it back just before Hirudegarn was resurrected, to tell everyone why he has come. It would seem that the waiting is finally over. The preparation, the training, all the mystery from the Gods of Destruction is about to culminate in one massive, final, multiversal tournament, the Tournament of Power. Let's take a look at the stat points. First for the QQ Bang, you want something that gives you a lot of points in health, stamina and basic attack, reducing ki, and if you can, leaving the other two attributes completely alone. Now for the attribute points, 125 will go into your basic attack for maximum damage. 125 will go into your stamina for 3 extra bars, and finally 125 will go into your health for maximum durability. Your Super Soul is I've Got My Claws Into You and Fangs too, which when you land a charged attack will boost your strike supers by a large amount and your movement speed by a medium amount, stacking twice. Now let's look at the super moves. Now for the super moves, Meditation will be your ki charging move to give you ki regen and 10 full ki bars. This will offset any ki minuses you get from your QQ Bang. Next is Petrifying Spit, a move that freezes the enemy where they stand, very good for setting up charge blasts to use for your Super Soul to increase your movement speed dramatically. Next is Raid Blast, a move that unleashes a flurry of punches on the enemy. If you hit the floor before the move is finished, you will do even more punches and land an even sweeter combo. You can also press the movement direction button in the direction of the enemy and teleport in front of them instead of doing the kick. Next is DODORIA Headbutt, a move that stamina breaks the enemy and sends them flying, which is really good for comboing into ultimate attacks, because even though there has a really long animation at the end, if you use an ultimate attack, the animation is completely cancelled out. Your AWOKEN skill will be KAIOKEN to call on the fires of the Demon Realm for extra strength during battle. Your first ultimate is Prominence Flash, a fiery blast move that gets stronger the more you use it, stacking up to the third time where you'll do an extra couple thousand damage. This move can take a while to finish, so make sure that you're definitely going to hit it. Next, your second ultimate is times 20, KAMEHAMEHA, to unleash a brutal series of strikes in KAIOKEN mode, finishing up with a massive blue KAMEHAMEHA, which we are going to say is the blue fires from within. The blue flames of hope which have destroyed any negativity from his past. Yes, that sounds good. And finally, your evasive is Dragon Burn, to freeze any enemy with the flames of the Demon Realm. Oxymoron, freezing with flames, but freeze them with fire, setting them up for an easy stamina break. Now it's time for the damage test. A teleporting raid blast without hitting the floor will do 1704 damage. Raid Blast with the kick and also hitting the floor, extending the combination duration will do 3,310 damage. DODORIA Headbutt will smash them with 1,922 damage. Petrifying Spit does absolutely nothing, but it's a very good way of setting up a charged attack to use for your Super Soul to increase your movement speed and the strength of your strike supers by extra large amount. Next, your full light combo chain will do a pretty decent 3,725 damage. Your full heavy combo chain will do an also very nice 4,024 damage, and your full mixed combo chain, your heavy light will do a very nice 5,814 damage. Your first ultimate Prominence Flash hitting the enemy with the strength and fire of the Demon Realm will do 5,949 damage. The next time you use it will stack on a little more damage, it'll do 7,069 damage. And finally, the upper limit of this move will extend it for the last stack, doing 8,029 damage. Your second ultimate times 20 KAMEHAMEHA will obliterate the enemy with a pretty okay 7,754 damage. Here is the first super damage combo. We're going to be calling the I Will Bury You, utilizing a mix of the heavy and mixed combinations straight into a vanishing Raid Blast, hitting the floor and obliterating the enemy, doing 10,608 damage. Here is the second super damage combo called Ultimate Blue Crusher, utilizing an easy rush in DODORIA Headbutt combination straight into a times 20 KAMEHAMEHA that will blast the enemy into oblivion, doing 14,579 damage. Finally, here is the last super combo we're going to be calling the Disappear Forever, using a mix of the light and mixed combinations into a knockback, a Petrifying Spit, and straight into a Prominence Flash, disappearing the enemy forever, doing 12,350 damage. This has been my character build for my level 99 melee-based Fire Demon themed Namekian character. This is the last in the Phase 6 builds, and next we're going into the Tournament of Power. What will happen in the Tournament of Power? Who will be saved and who will be erased? Find out on the next exciting episode of AxoniusRex.